You can replace this text with any text you wish. You can either write in this text box or paste your own text here. Try. The moment her computer flickered back to life, the screen glowed with a picture that changed everything. It wasn't supposed to appear, I was only running a simple diagnostic, but suddenly, there she was on the desktop wallpaper, not the strict, always in control boss everyone feared, but a younger, softer version of herself, smiling in a way none of us had ever seen. And before I could look away, before I could pretend I hadn't seen it, she stepped back into the office, caught my expression, and asked the question that froze the air between us. She asked if I thought she was pretty. Those weren't just words. They were a crack in her armor, a doorway into a kind of pain I wasn't prepared for, a story I never knew I would become part of. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of understanding, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to channel name. Your support helps us bring more emotional stories to life. I had always thought of Ms. Amina, the department head, as unshakable. She walked through the office like a sharp breeze, crisp and demanding, the kind of woman whose heels alone made people sit straighter. I was just the IT support guy, the one who showed up when printers threw tantrums or when someone clicked on something suspicious. We lived in different worlds within the same building. But that day, her world unexpectedly collided with mine. She had called me to fix her computer after it kept freezing during a video presentation. When I arrived at her office, she looked more stressed than annoyed, her shoulders slightly tense, as if she had been carrying weight no one else saw. The office smelled faintly like jasmine and strong black coffee, and her table, always perfectly organized, had a few scattered papers, something unusual for her. She stepped away to take a call, leaving me with the silent machine that held more secrets than I knew. When the photo appeared, the one with her wearing a soft blue dress, standing in front of a seaside cliff with wind in her hair, I felt something shift. It wasn't the beauty of the picture alone, but the contrast. The woman in the frame looked free, open, happy in a way that didn't match the guarded, strict version of her I saw every day. When she returned and saw the photo still on screen, something in her expression softened, then tightened, as if she was fighting between hiding and revealing. Then she asked that question quietly, almost shyly, "Do you think I'm pretty?" It didn't match the tough persona she always wore. It felt like a plea, like something inside her had been waiting too long to be acknowledged. I didn't know what to say at first. Not because she wasn't beautiful, she was, but because I could feel the sadness in her voice. It wasn't vanity. It was vulnerability. And for some reason, she trusted me enough to show it. As the day unfolded, the office's usual noise felt distant. My mind kept replaying that moment. Why did she ask me? Why did she look like the answer mattered more than it should? Over the next few weeks, I noticed things I hadn't before. The dark circles she hid with makeup. The way she paused at her glass office door before entering, as if putting on a mask. The faint tremble in her hand whenever she held her coffee cup. She wasn't cold, she was exhausted. She wasn't intimidating, she was protecting herself. One evening, long after most employees left, she walked past the IT room where I was finishing work. She looked unusually fragile. Not weak, but tired in a way that came from years of holding everything together alone. She paused, hesitated, then stepped inside. She told me she wasn't always like this. That life had changed her. That she used to laugh easily, trust easily, love easily. But life had taken pieces of her along the way, her mother's death, a broken engagement, the pressure of being a woman in leadership constantly judged harsher than others. She said the picture I saw was taken during one of the last times she remembered being truly happy. Someone she loved deeply took that photo. Someone who later left without explanation. That heartbreak had shaped the version of her who now walked the office hallways, polished, perfect, unreachable. I listened. Maybe for the first time in her life, someone actually listened. She told me she didn't care about being loved, but she missed being seen. Really seen. That night, the office lights reflected against the windows like stars trapped inside the building. She sat across from me, looking smaller than she ever had. She told me she sometimes wondered if she had grown too cold, too distant, too hard. That people no longer saw her as human. Her voice wavered as she spoke, and I realized her question, "Do you think I'm pretty?" was really asking if she was still worth something. If the world hadn't taken too much from her. I told her she was strong, resilient, and yes, beautiful. Not just in the picture. Not just physically. But beautiful because she kept going despite everything. Beautiful because she carried her pain without letting it break others. Beautiful because she cared more than she let the world see, she cried. Quietly, almost ashamed, but the tears came anyway. Tears she must have been holding in for years. In the days that followed, she changed, not drastically, but enough. She began smiling slightly when someone thanked her. She allowed herself to breathe instead of rushing through every task. She stopped hiding behind the strictness she once used as a shield. And sometimes, in small moments, she would look at me with a grateful softness I never saw from her before. She wasn't suddenly free of her past. She wasn't magically healed. But she was opening up again, letting light in through the cracks she had sealed shut long ago. And maybe I wasn't anyone special, just a guy who fixed computers, but sometimes, a single moment of kindness breaks a chain of pain someone has carried for too long. As our paths continued crossing, I realized she was transforming not because of me, but because she finally allowed herself to feel again. Because she realized she was more than the pain that shaped her. She realized she was still the woman in that seaside picture, strong, hopeful, and deeply human. And I understood something too: you never know what someone is battling behind their perfectly controlled exterior. Sometimes the coldest people are the ones who once cared with their whole heart and paid the price for it. If this story touched your heart even a little, please support it, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It helps us keep creating emotional, meaningful stories for you. Before the video ends, I have one special request: please comment what moment hit you the hardest. Different languages and voices. Change the speed and the pitch of the voice. You can even tweak the SSML, speech synthesis markup language, to control how the different sections of the text sound. Click on SSML above to give it a try. Enjoy using text to speech.